We really want to take real members of our community and put them in the center.
We're Bear Success.
I'm Eric.
I'm Christian. Welcome to our show. New season, new year, new logo.
Ooh.
The Bear Success show. And new year means calendars. And speak about calendar, this Bear group decided to create their first calendar. And we're going to talk to them about it. But it's not any group, any calendar. We talk about the Bears of Israel. Yes. We're going to talk to
Noam Roth, who is the organizer of the Mr. Bear Israel contest, and the current title holder, Mr. Bear Israel, or Friedman. We're going to talk to them live from Haifa, Israel. Haifa is the third largest city after Jerusalem and Tel Aviv.
We're going to talk about Bear community, the photo shoot, the gay life in Israel,
Yes.
and of course, the calendar. Hello. First live shot Israel. So very cool for us.
Very,
So
very
it's
cool.
also the first one.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us a bit about yourself.
Selves.
All right.
Yourselves, I mean.
I will give you the honor to start.
Okay. So my name is Noam, and I run the Mr. Bear Israel competition every year. I'm the organizer of the competition. This is an event that we have every year in October as part of Bearta, which is the Tel Aviv Bear Pride Weekend. And in 2019, I ran the election, and this guy won. And that's your turn to tell them about yourself.
All right. So hi, my name is Orr. First of all, I want to apologize that my English is not as polished as Noam's. He always makes me feel like my English is not that good, but I'll try my best. Anyway, my name is Orr. I am 29. I am the current Mr. Bear Israel, as I was elected in the previous Bearta weekend. An LGBTQ activist, and most of my actions are within the Israeli bear community, and I really enjoy it. It's something that takes a lot of time and space in my everyday life. We too have recently launched our Bears of Israel calendar,
Which is right here. I got it handy. This is here.
Oh, he's got on the cover.
Well prepared.
I don't recognize him.
So on the cover is Orr is on. Oh, where was he? Orr is on the cover. There we go. Right, you can see him there. Right.
Wait.
Oh yeah, it's him.
Now I
But
recognize
it should
him.
be shirtless to make sure.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. Of course.
Let's see how this evening grows.
Interesting.
And all in all, there are 20 bears, Israeli bears, that adorn this beautiful calendar that we produced. This is the first time that we did this. Basically, Orr came up with the idea, since we did not get to celebrate Bear Pride this year because of COVID. We were trying to brainstorm what other way do we have to celebrate the bear community, and he came up with this. So we ran with it. We spoke to our friends. All of our models are real people, real members of our bear community here in Israel. And you can get it now at bearsofisrael.com.
That's bearsofisrael.com.
Yeah. I think that in Canadian dollars is about 25 Canadian dollars, and that's including shipping.
Including shipping.
Wow,
Yes.
that's really good.
That's great news.
Yes, it's maybe it's the right time to say that this whole project is a non-project,
Non-profit.
non-profit. What is the word? Project.
Yeah.
And the only reason we came up with this is because 2020 was a rough time for everyone, and we only want to do it good for our own community.
Yeah.
And to show other people in the world how amazing and fabulous our own community is.
Yep.
It's very cool.
Yeah, very nice looking. Very
Maybe-
Very beautiful project. Very nice pictures and everything.
Yeah.
We even have some here too. For example, this one looks
Yeah, that's
familiar.
me.
He looks very familiar.
Yeah, that's me, Mr. Producer. I'll be on the second page with all the thank yous. So that's my picture there. I don't have a month of my own. Or actually does have a month of his own, or adorns October. I'll show you in a second.
I'm putting the bear in October.
Yeah.
Is it because the event is
Is
usually
this-
in October?
Yes, exactly. So that's the picture that we have in October. So October is when we celebrate the Bear Pride in Tel Aviv. Berta, it's going to happen October 9th. If everything goes well and COVID is gone by then, we hope to God. And it will happen on October 9th. And that's when we will elect our new Mr. Bear Israel.
This is when he will get rid of me, finally.
I can get rid of you that quickly.
We're curious to know. Tell us about the Bears of Israel. When that started, how?
Yeah, how long has it been in existence?
You're older, so you will tell the history.
Well, the bear communities around the world have existed for many, many decades, and they have existed in Israel for years. But the celebration of Bear Pride is fairly new. We only started about 4 years ago. Is when we did our first Bear Pride weekend, and that was because of a few Facebook groups that were opened, and suddenly it felt like the bears in Israel had a place, had a home, that we could, meet each other and find each other. And then after that, we started meeting up. We started having events, going to picnics, going to the beach together, organizing parties, and just, having normal social bear life, just like anywhere else in the world.
That's wonderful.
It's based on membership, or just do the events people show up, or there's any more formal activity?
Like, if I was in Israel at the time, can I just come to an event, or do I have to be a member?
You will be more than welcome. Actually, we still don't really have an official organization of bears in Israel whatsoever. So everything that we do as a community by now is based on a personal
Initiative.
Yes.
Yeah, so everything is basically personal initiative, more grassroots. So members of our community want to organize an event, and then they just organize the event. Usually they know who to contact to do that, and then we all just show up, because it's very, like I said, it's fairly new, the way that we organize things.
It's fairly new, and maybe it's time to say that Israel is a small country, so the one thing that makes our community unique is that everyone really knows everyone
In the country.
and more specifically in the bear community.
Yeah. So it's not, it really is not an organization of a city. It's not like Tel Aviv has its own thing. And I don't know, others, Jerusalem or Haifa have their own thing. We just had an event in Haifa for bears before the lockdown started, and people showed up from all over the country, not just from Haifa. So I think that's something that Orr touched on, which really is true. It's a small country. We all know each other, and it's a loving community, and it's growing in a very fast pace.
Yes. That's so cool.
That's really nice.
How do you say bear in Hebrew?
Dubim. Dov, one bear. Dubim, many bears.
Yeah.
So Dubin.
Dubin. So good to know. Yeah, it's interesting that how it changed lately, especially here, the gay village in Toronto is going down the hill technically because internet killed many places. So people don't go out anymore, bars. Because
Church Street, right?
Yeah, Church Street.
Yes.
Yeah. I went to Church Street. Oh my God. I think it was like 20 years ago, maybe. I went to Church Street. Yeah. I visited Toronto once and I went to Church Street. It was a lot of fun. But it was a long time ago. So I don't know.
Yeah. It's been a year you don't go there. I don't even know what's going on. But interesting, many places closed there now because of the internet.
And
before the pandemic.
And the rent's gone high, so...
If people prefer to do things online, can go online to do things, let's say, instead of going in person. The good aspect says because you need to be naked so there's no way to do online. So there's a good thing.
I think that in Israel, it maybe happens in the general gay community, but for some reason, inside the bear community, it's the complete opposite. Because we talk and we gather around internet groups and Facebook groups and our own communities, and we text each other. And we are really looking for the places where we can meet in person, because I have a few theories why it happens. Maybe because being a bear and being someone who's not that, he's not maybe not popular on Grindr and stuff, and someone who gets the essence of sometimes a person is much more than what he seems like. And so I think that the bear community in Israel really understands it, and they are looking to meet in person to really experience each other. And there are a lot of friendships and relationships built around our meetings and gatherings. And hence that it's been a really sad year because all those things that were taken away from us has left an empty space in our lives. And
which is exactly why
we came out with the project of the Israeli version. No, unfortunately, you can't meet inside a calendar, but you can bring your community to your own house. And,
very true.
Very true.
How about your title? How that happened? So how did you get involved with Bears of Israel and
why?
Mr. Bear Israel?
Well,
maybe I should start.
As always.
Yeah. So the way that
he'll start and I'll bring us cookies.
So the way that the competition works in Israel is that we usually have between 5 to 7 contestants. We have judges, a panel of judges, and we've got the votes from the public. So whoever's there can also vote for the So and then I kind of collect all the votes from everyone. The contestants have a speech that they have to give. They have a talent show. They go through interviews with the judges. What else? They have like a question, like a
question answer.
They draw out a question that they don't know what it is beforehand. So they have like all these stages, and then in the end, I tally the votes, and then I crown the winner. And this guy right here ended up on top.
Interesting. The only travel we did last year was to Ottawa, the capital of Canada, to Mr. Ottawa Bear 2020.
I was a judge.
Yes, it was the only thing we did last year. Only trip, only event.
Yeah.
Nothing else since. So it was really cool. A similar way.
Yeah.
But really cool to see that. I think it's so nice to celebrate the bears and which people get together. It's very cool.
Yeah.
Great to do that.
Well, actually, last time when we crowned Orr as Mr. Bear Israel, we also crowned Vice Mr. Bear Israel. This is the first year that we crowned a vice Mr. Bear.
Mr. Tomer Petael.
His name is Tome, and he is actually our Mr. September. So if you can,
it's a month before me. So from October you need to switch.
Yeah, so that's him. That's the guy.
Uh-huh.
That's Mr. Bear Israel.
So sexy, I can't help it.
Yeah, and you'll notice that he's in the month of September, and he's holding books to show that he's going back to school. But he is also
not only is he going back to school.
Yeah, he's also bisexual, and September is Bisexuality Awareness Month. So it's great for him to be Mr. September.
Who came out with this brilliant idea?
Yeah.
That's really cool. Actually, how did you choose the guys? Did you choose them? They came to you? How was the process?
Yeah.
Well, the process whenever this guy starts, hey, nice pictures. I'm sorry. I have a problem concentrating.
Cool.
Anyway,
I don't blame you.
Usually around July, August. Well, if this contest is in October, is around July and August, right? This guy publishes. We are looking for contenders, for contestants for Mr. Bear Israel, and you can either apply yourself. You can either apply as assigning one of your friends into these competitions, or what he likes to do. He likes hunting.
Yeah, hunting for Mr. Bear.
Wow.
And also for specifically for the calendar, it was very different. We didn't issue some sort of message to everyone saying that we were looking for people. We started with the concepts of the months. So every month has a concept. Like you saw, October is Berta. That was the concept. November is Bisexuality Awareness Month. Another one that we can see is, let's see. There we go.
Oh,
that's a really nice one.
There we go.
Right. That's a really nice one. So this is March. So, for example, what happens is March is we celebrate Pesach.
Passover.
Yeah, Passover. Passover is a Jewish holiday, which we celebrate here in Israel. And it represents freeing of the slaves, right? So obviously, we wanted to show a slave that is actually free. And that is depicted beautifully in this picture here. So we came up with the concepts first, and then after we came up with the concepts, we tried to figure out who do we know in the community who fits the bill properly.
Now, we know a lot of people, so it was just about putting the right persons into the right positions. And I think we managed to select a diversity of people that really represent all the types of bears in Israel. They have different ethnicities and nationalities and people from different cities, either from Tel Aviv or from
everywhere. We have from Jerusalem, we have from Haifa, we have from cities around.
We have Jews, we have Arabs, we have bisexuals, gay people, non-binary people, non-binary person.
Yeah.
But
and like I said, all of them are members of our community. These are not people that we had to go out and hunt for. They're just our friends.
That's so cool.
That's beautiful.
Actually, speaking of that, tell us about Charlie. Have a small footage about him.
Yeah. Okay. So Charlie is Mr. November, right? Charlie is Mr. November. November is Trans Awareness Month, and Charlie is non-binary trans. They are also first runner-up of Mr. Israel Leather for 2019. Yeah, so they also have that title as well. Charlie is part of our community. They have been for a very long time. We love them. They're great. They are just so photogenic. The photo shoot with them was just incredible. And you know, it was just so obvious that we would pick them.
Having him, having they in our community, them in our community. See, I also struggle. It really brings a part of that brings to life a subject that has really been discussed in the past few years inside our community, which is our relationships with the trans community. So myself and Noam, we both see ourselves as allies of the trans community in general, not only specific of trans people inside the bear community. We understand the importance of working together to share our agenda and to bring visibility of and acceptance of other body types, other genders, other people into the larger community. And having Charlie, which is a non-binary person inside the community, it really, at first, people who are not familiar with the idea of non-binary people didn't really know what is going on. Are we including females in our community? Because traditionally, bear communities are thought to be men only. And the shape of his body, his features, people are really struggling to understand their essence. But having them has really opened the minds of many people who were not familiar with those idea or never met a trans or specifically a non-binary person in their life to really learn.
Yeah, and Charlie is not the only trans member in our community. There are quite a few trans people who are part of our community, and we have, I think the bear community as a whole, you know, around the world has had a history of fundraising for our sister communities. And just, you know, we've had fundraisers within the bear communities for trans nonprofit organizations before. We'll probably do it again. It's just, I think it goes hand in hand with what being a bear actually is. It's someone who is embracing and cuddly and loving and hugging and is protective of others in the LGBTQ community,
hugging everyone
less
who needs
fortunate.
a hug.
Yeah. So it makes sense to me.
It's a very interesting topic because us at Bears Access have an Instagram page that feature pictures. So we're very proud to feature trans people and so many. In the end, this is a huge variety of people. We can just say bear is one thing and chase is one. There's so many variations of people
welcome.
In types and tastes. You can just close to one. Sometimes people post, "Oh, is this not a bear?" But so what does a bear mean? It's so rare.
I'll be honest with you. I hate those labels. Every time I'm sending him photos of Instagram profiles, I say, look at it. I say, look at this cute muscle bear. He says this is not a muscle bear. I don't know. Who cares what kind of? He's hot. Take a look at him.
The people message sometimes, you very often actually. Do you think I'm bad enough? Because many pages have very strict way to stop people. So people say, are you bad enough? You're not chasing enough. We find very sad because I don't like this idea.
This is why we like your page, because it's so diverse.
Thank you.
Yes.
We are honored to be talking to you.
Thank you. That's true. Because it's so sad to see the personal message. Do you think I'm worth? Do you think this speech is okay if you not understand? Because they get rejected so often, even online, even on their pages. We find very sad because it should be open. Even trans, they post many times. We're very happy to do that. We have no problem.
Everyone's welcome.
You don't say who is more bear, who's less bear. We find bear concept very relative. We think bear for us is like a state of mind more than a body type because
up here.
Yeah,
it's up here.
Just go to any. I'm sorry if I'm being provocative, but just go to any porn site. Go for the bears category, and you'll see normal people or slightly thicker than others. So I don't know what I want to say with this, but the definition is very flexible.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
And we enjoy
in
this
general.
flexibility.
In general, I think that we should look for reasons to unite us and not to disunite us. So instead of looking for the differences, let's look at what can bring us together. And if I feel like I'm part of the bear community, if Orr feels like he's part of the bear community, if Charlie feels like
I think
they are part of the bear community, then the fact of the matter is that we are all part of the bear community. And that's just that.
Yes, there's no bad enough, chaser enough.
Yeah.
Everybody's part of this. Yes.
Yes.
We have an election for.
Not very political.
You won. And how was the photo shoot? We have some images here. Let's see if I.
Well, first of all, we had not seen each other for months because of COVID, and suddenly we all met for this photo shoot, and it was just such a great feeling. Everybody was so warm and loving. Everybody was just so happy to see each other. It was great.
So it's a really small gap of times between the second lockdown and third lockdown that we managed to
slide right in
to execute this this photo shoot.
But we also had to do it in capsules. So we couldn't have all of the models come in at the same time. So they each had a slot allotted to them, and people came and went throughout the day. So we never had too many people on set. So you could keep with the regulations of this crazy pandemic.
Now, since neither Noam nor I are professional in all this producing photo shoots and or in fashion world, we need to get a lot of help. And the most amazing thing is that it's been maybe 2 or 3 days since we sat together like we're sitting now, and we came with the idea, until we already have 20 people who will be willing to model for this thing, and someone who will help us producing, and a photographer, and
hair and makeup, and styling, and graphic design, and website building,
all voluntarily.
So we couldn't have planned it without the help of all these people. They're listed in the
and also on our website,
and also on our website,
which is birdsofisrael.com.
Yeah, all these wonderful people. So this is my page over here. So they're all listed down here, and we could not have done it without them.
But what I want to say is that we didn't have to look that much, because once people were heard about this project, everyone really just believed in it, and it was really easy to gather everyone.
Yeah. I would say it really was a community effort. So us two, we kind of had to head spear the whole project, but it was a community effort. A lot of people came together to make this thing happen.
And you said it's a no-profit project. So where does that money go? What's going to happen?
The money will go back to the community. So we have a fund, and the money that we gather will go back to the community. After COVID ends, we have a lot of activities, and like I said, there are also nonprofit organizations in Israel that we have fundraised for before. So some of the money will go there. Some of the money will go back to the activities that we have within the community. But we're not going to get rich out of this. This is not why we're doing this.
Actually, I'm curious to ask Orr, how stressed was he with this project? He was okay? How the boss deal?
I would say that this is a tricky question because I really wanted to see this happening. I feel like being the Mr. Bear in such a difficult time and not being able to really to show your projects inside the community, it's a really difficult time. And I really wanted to do something for the community, and luckily I had the most amazing partner to do it. And we started thank you. We started talking about this project around the end of November, beginning of December, and I told him, listen,
we don't have time.
It's a shame I only thought about it now, because I would really want us to make it in past time. And then he said,
hold my beer.
Yeah.
I said, hold my beer.
We were actually having beer.
Yeah.
So I was stressed, of course, but it was good stress, because it was really the engine to everything else. And then the best thing is that when I'm stressed, he is calm, and when he's stressed, I'm calm, and then this is why we work so well together.
Indeed.
How long did the project take?
I think it took us less than a month to go from the first time we talked about this to the photo shoot, and it took another, I think, 3 weeks between the photo shoot and having the product in our hands. So less than 2 months from beginning to end.
We didn't talk about the concepts of. No, actually, we did.
Yeah, we did. We talked about some of them.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about some more?
Yeah, we can. I mean,
Sure.
the artist. Do you want to hear about it?
Sure.
Of course.
The artistic vision of the entire project was not to go for something too high fashion or something that will be messy to look at. We really want to take real members of our community and put them in the center. So each month has its own concept, but as you can see, artistically it is quite plain. So no crazy backgrounds, and not as for instance, this is Bambi. And
This is Bambi. He is Mr. February.
Yes.
So yeah, February marks the what is it called? The masquerade in Venice, right?
Okay.
But it's also the celebration of Purim. Purim is
It's like the Israeli Halloween.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Israeli Halloween. That's the time that we dress up. So we figured that'd be perfect for him. And also Bambi, again, we chose Bambi because he is such a colorful character. He is one of the most.
He's a joker.
Yeah, he's like the joker of our community. So it was very obvious for us to choose him for this photo shoot. So
Was there anybody shy? Really, some guys can be very shy in situations, even for interviews. Sometimes I'm so shy. Basic says also people send pictures. Oh no, I'm so afraid of exposing my body. Oh, anybody was shy there?
There were a few people that we really have to talk through, but I think this is the power of our community. I'm talking from my own experience. First time you go into a gay party and you're the only fat guy, so you would not dance in the middle of the dance floor, and you will not take your shirt off, and because you would feel different. But if you see 20 other people taking their shirts off and celebrating their bodies and being positive about it, it gives you a lot of confidence. So few of the guys here, I have to say that they were pretty shy at first, but they made a progress with us.
Yeah.
And we helped them show their sexiness.
Also, the entire set was full of bears and people that we know from the community. And in Hebrew, there's a word, which actually comes from Arabic, called lefargen, which basically means to
cheer each other on.
Yeah, to cheer each other on. And everybody just cheered each other on. You kept hearing people tell each other, oh, you look so good, you're amazing, you're sexy, you're beautiful, give us that. And when you're in a sort of atmosphere where everybody's praising your body and how sexy you are, I think it's pretty hard to be shy. You kind of wanna show off what you got.
And as a large people, we don't often get represented in such facts. So being able to really take those people who never saw themselves as pretty or as models or people like them in commercials this is one of my favorites.
Yeah, this is beautiful.
This is where we skipped Moti, but the previous one was Independence Day. So this one,
this is Shavuot.
This is Shuki. He was the previous Mr. Bear Israel, the one.
Yeah, he was the one before him.
You featured him at Bear Success before. Remember a while ago he sent pictures and you featured him.
What?
Yeah. Of course you did.
Why wouldn't you? He's like the sexiest person in Israel.
Because he's amazing. Yeah. And with him is Naol. This is Naol. He was also one of our stylists on the set, and he's also in
the previous contestant in Mr. Bear and a gay activist himself.
Yeah. And they're playing with water. They're wet because they're celebrating Shavuot. Shavuot is
it's kind of hard to explain in English, but it's a Jewish holiday when one of the things you do is you splash water on each other.
Yeah.
Kinky.
Sounds fun.
It's not kinky. The origins are not kinky, but we like to give the kinky interpretation.
There's a religious reason for it, but we don't care about that one.
But he's Jewish, so he can learn too.
Yeah.
It's like the interpretation we gave with the slaves in Passover.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. What else have we got? We got July. This is July. So they
are fabulous.
Yeah. So these are Adi and Ben. They are partners.
They're the sweetest couple.
They're one of our royal couples in the community. We love them and we love their love, which they show here.
They're like our Charles and Diana, but unless they have a good end.
Yeah. And we chose them for July because Israelis have like a second Valentine's Day.
It's the Jewish Valentine's Day.
Yeah, there's a Jewish Valentine's Day in July. So we said, hey, it's called Tu B'Av. Yeah. And so we said, let's have them showcase their love in July.
Great.
It's cool that you put together something more traditional for you guys and playing with both sides. Yeah. It's really cool.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, these are bears of Israel. We want to show everyone around the world, not just the members of our community, but also our culture, the Israeli culture, our traditions, our holidays, our celebrations, what we do during the year. And then maybe you would want to come visit us and then meet the people in this calendar and have fun with us the same way that we do in this calendar.
You're in trouble, guys. I have to go to Israel now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy. We almost did 3 years ago.
No, last year.
Was it?
Yeah, my cousins had a bat mitzvah.
Uh-huh.
But they sent the invitations a little bit late.
Too close. Like, we can just go to Israel tomorrow, kind of thing.
They sent it like a month before.
It was too close.
Yeah, that's very Israeli of them.
Yeah,
like you heard, we did this in 2 months, so it's very Israeli. Do everything last minute. Everything has to happen last minute. That's a very Israeli thing.
We could do Bears Excess in Israel sometime.
that would be great.
That would be fun.
Yes,
Do
definitely.
it.
Is there a bathhouse in Israel? Haifa?
Did you hear that, folks? You heard it here first.
You already have a team.
Bears in Excess Israel coming
That would be good.
soon.
That would be so cool. Okay, so COVID, go away.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the one thing that we need to happen now.
Yeah,
So, what are the plans for Bears of Israel for 2021?
That's a tricky question.
Yeah, it's a good
Because right now you can plan a lot of things and you don't really know what will happen tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So we are keeping many plans inside the drawer, which can hopefully could be executed during the coming year. I'm not talking as Bears of Israel. I'm talking as myself, as Mr. Bear, as a bear activist, and Noam as my partner in crime. We're trying to do whatever we can in our social medias and our interactive tools that we have in order to keep our communities together. And part of it is managing our Facebook groups and putting a lot of effort in the content within it. And we have plans of starting maybe bear conventions.
Maybe more merch. I don't know.
merch.
For now, we're taking it one step at a time. Let's put it that way.
so there'll be a calendar next year, probably.
Hopefully.
We'll have to see. We hope
So
so.
people buy it, people.
Yeah, buy it.
Yeah, exactly. If you guys buy it, listen to me here, listeners. Go to bearsofisrael.com, get the calendar, and if there is enough demand, then for sure next year we'll have another calendar for you.
Yes, so please.
So it's all up to you.
With 20 new next to Israeli Bears.
Yep.
And the list is long.
Yeah. There's many more Israeli bears to showcase.
But you can follow our Instagram as well. And after, I believe that in a month or two after we're finishing the marketing, we will start maybe to be your competitors of Bears in Excess.
Oh, that's
And
happening
also,
now.
You like to feature some sexy bears from around the world and Israel, of course.
Yeah.
Well, hope you make time for yourself because it gets crazy.
There's enough room in Instagram for everyone.
And speak about gay world. I'm curious to know, how is the gay life in Israel? Because you hear things. For example, last year we saw 2 movies of the Jewish International Film Festival. Ironically, both movies were in Tel Aviv, dealing with gay culture. And I also saw a documentary on Amazon Prime about this gay guy. He was Catholic in London. He's going to marry this Jewish guy, but he was afraid. He's feeling sad because the Catholicism didn't accept gays.
Yeah.
So he was so impressed that his husband, as a Jewish, the rabbi there, was so open-minded. And then he decided to go to Israel to learn about the Judaism and everything. And they show so many things there.
It was very interesting.
Very interesting. So how is there for you guys, especially in the bear world?
Well, as everything in this conversation and everything about Israel, the answer is a bit more complex than the question. Israel is, by definition, the only Jewish country in the world. Therefore, the population is a very, very diverse mix of people in different levels. I'm talking about the Jewish population.
Because there's also an Arab population.
Yes, which is a massive part of the Jewish population. Our population usually in Israel live apart. Noam and I we both live in Haifa, which is a mixed city, but it is very rare in Israel. And you can see difference from place to place in the level of acceptance of the LGBTQ community. Would you please stop playing with your eyebrows while I'm talking? You know it is hard. I can hardly concentrate.
No, you should be like this.
Anyway, back to our conversation. Everyone knows that Tel Aviv is considered to be the most liberal city for the LGBTQ communities. And up until 6 months ago, I used to live in Tel Aviv for about 7 years. And I'm kind of experiencing a different atmosphere here in Haifa. I don't feel like this city is not safe for me, but it is less LGBTQ oriented than Tel Aviv. Of course, there are a lot of other places who are even less oriented than Haifa. But I have to say that in general, you see a lot of more representations of LGBTQ people in the media, in television, in papers, in reality shows, in the movies, even
in Parliament.
In Parliament,
there are currently 5 out gay members of Parliament out of 120. That's the most that we've ever had. So yeah, I mean, on the one hand, it's pretty liberal. It's by far the most liberal in the Middle East, for sure. But on the other hand, because it's a Jewish state, and because the religious parties have a lot of say in the government, a lot of things are still not legal. So, for example, marriage is not legal. And I mean, same-sex marriage is not legal, and even adoption it's legal, but it's not really something that you can do.
Now I'm talking about. I'm calling it the privilege.
The privilege. That's also
stuff.
True. Yeah,
violence towards the trans community, not accepting. LGBTQ people in many places, the stuff that I'm not trying to. I think the point is clear. I'm not trying to pink wash and paint it like everything, like being a gay man or person in Israel is a perfect thing, but this is as LGBTQ activists. This is something we really aspire to every day. And I think that everything we do, even if it's inside the bear community or the general LGBTQ community, everything we do helps bring us one step forward towards equality and a proper life to every member of our community, no matter where he's from. Now I'm figuring out that being a gay guy in Tel Aviv, that's easy. Being a trans woman in Jerusalem is harder.
Much harder.
Very understandable.
But what you do is very important, because in the long term, whatever you're doing now is going to influence other generations, other young gay guys or whatever they are. They're going to inspire them to be more accepting, more free in the future. So we're just planting a very important seed for many generations to come.
like generations before us planted their seeds for us. We've talked about our mutual friend David, who lives in Toronto.
Yes.
And he was featured in an Israeli documentary called Hadavkaim, a story that tells the beginning of the gay community in Israel. That started in the 60s and 70s, in a day that marks the first time that the gay community started to come together and to work together, and they established the Israeli, I don't know how it is translated, the Aguda.
The Aguda, I don't know, the leading LGBT organization
in Israel.
It's called the Aguda, yeah.
Yes. Our friend David was interviewed there and talked about the first days in how he, as an officer in the IDF, was kicked out of the IDF once they found that he was gay.
Yeah, IDF stands for Israeli Defense Force. It's the military of our country.
Yes. Today you have trans people in the IDF.
In the IDF, yeah. I served in the IDF. You served in the IDF.
Yeah.
And we have friends who are trans people who are officers in the IDF.
Now we're not ambassadors of the IDF.
Tell us again how to buy a calendar.
Well,
yes, sell it. Go for it.
So, Bears of Israel calendar. It's a non-profit project that we made. If you want to get it, you can find it on our website. That's bearsofisrael.com. Where you can also read more about the community, about the bear lives in Israel, and of course, order yourself one nice gift to you.
25 Canadian dollars.
That's
including shipping. That's a steal, you guys. That's a steal. And you go to all these beautiful people and non-binaries sent right to your door, and a little thank you from both of us.
Yeah.
And the entire bear community of Israel.
And Noam touched every copy, so if this is your kink, so.
And as you mentioned, I'm gonna try to do something different with you guys. I'm gonna play with you both. Oops.
Yeah.
I love games.
I thought you were never going to offer.
I love games.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
The game is called This or That. We're going to give you two choices, and we want you to tell us which and why.
Do we have to choose together, or do we each choose our?
You each choose. We want to hear from both of you.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. How much is the same or not?
Yeah. You ready for this? Are you ready?
I'm ready for this, Jelly.
Okay, the first one. Jerusalem or Tel Aviv?
Tel Aviv.
Jerusalem.
Interesting. Why?
I went to the army in Jerusalem. It's just a beautiful city. Tel Aviv is fun to visit. Jerusalem is just magical.
Tel Aviv has been my home for 7 years, and I many of my friends live there, and I have all the things I did as a grown-up person happened in Tel Aviv, and I love the city, and it means a lot to me.
Are you originally from where?
I'm originally from Nahariya, which is a city in the northern region, not very far from here. And it's about 10 kilometers. I don't know how to translate to miles.
Yeah, 10 kilometers.
From the Lebanese border.
Yeah. And me, I'm originally from a place called Kfar Hasidim, which literally translates to a village of religious people.
Okay.
So,
wait, no pressure.
I was the only gay in the village.
Hi.
It's from the village people.
You shocked the entire village.
Yeah.
Now it's in the calendar. Oi. No trouble.
Yeah. So the next one, falafel or hummus?
Hummus.
Yeah, hummus.
No.
Yeah.
I would not say hummus. I would say hummus.
Yeah, hummus. I mean, falafel is great. I love falafel. But hummus is something that you always have in your fridge, and you can you can't really have any meal without hummus. It's like it's a basic Israeli food.
No, it's but hummus it's like a social thing. It's a thing you do with your friends.
Yeah.
You go to eat hummus.
Yeah.
Also,
Also, there's like the good hummus place that you always go back to because that's the good hummus place.
everyone in Israel is sure that he knows the best hummus in Israel.
And that's also true, and it's not the same place for everyone. Yeah.
It's funny.
Okay, babka or arugula?
Rogalach.
No, babka for me, definitely.
Rogalach.
No, rogalach is part of it.
A good
Rogalach is
rogalach,
part of
like a
it.
Jerusalem rogalach.
No. Rogalach is part of
You
it.
take rogalach, you
Babka
put it
is
in the
much
microwave for 10 seconds, and then it comes fresh.
Yeah, no, babka, much better. My grandma's babka.
Yeah, babka.
Specifically, my grandma's babka.
Okay.
Ah.
So next one, Hanukkah or Passover?
Hanukkah.
Hanukkah, yeah.
That was easy.
Passover is you can't eat anything. There's
Sure.
nothing.
Eating fried food or
Oh.
eating a no bread diet.
Yeah, no. Pesach is difficult. Hanukkah is just fun. It's just plain fun,
And it's 8 days.
and it's 8 days. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
No, Hanukkah is fun.
Okay, next one, book or movie?
Ooh.
I study literature, so I have to say book.
Yeah.
And this is also what I believe.
Yeah, I haven't read books in a while, but I would also have to say books are far better. I mean, using your imagination is much more fun than just being passive and watching a movie.
Okay.
True.
Okay, Batman or Wonder Woman?
Wonder Woman, there's no question. Hands down. Hands fucking down.
He's
Wonder
still
Woman, but for two reasons. First of all, because she's a woman, and second, because of Gal Gadot.
Yes. And also because Wonder Woman, don't you ever forget. You're divine and you're about to regret. It's a
Now for the spicier questions.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Top or bottom?
Ooh.
Can we say both?
Yeah, the answer is yes.
The answer is yes.
The answer is yes.
Okay.
I got both of them.
I have none, but
Yeah, yours are invisible.
imagine it.
Next one, kinky or vanilla?
What do you think?
I have an idea.
Yeah.
I say
Hummus.
no. I say vanilla with cookie dough chunks.
Okay.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Ah.
No. Yeah. So I'm the kinkster of the bunch.
Good to know. Okay, the next one, cut or uncut? I think I know the answers because
Yeah, we're both Jews.
I know. It's
Right.
more about
Saying that.
Yeah. No, but I think he asked about partners.
Oh, what do we prefer?
yeah,
Yeah.
cut or uncut.
or doesn't matter.
I don't think I want to discriminate like that. I mean, I can say this much. Most of the people that I have had the pleasure of
Having intercourse.
yeah, of knowing whether or not they're cut or uncut. So most of them have been cut because I live in this country.
Yeah.
But I have had uncut, and I don't discriminate.
I don't discriminate either. I think I'm more maybe used to being cut
Circumcised.
myself and being with people who are cut. But I don't think that it really matters. Cocks comes in all shapes and sizes anyway.
Yeah.
There's another thing that's I guess you could say transpositive. Your genitalia doesn't necessarily have anything to do with your sexuality, right? So you can have amazing sex with a person, and it doesn't really matter what kind of genitalia they have.
Yeah.
It's what they have between their ears and what they know how to do with their with their heart and their interpersonal skills.
Yes.
Very true. Love
Very
it.
true.
Love it.
And thank God, all genders have asses.
Very true.
Now you answer the other question.
Okay, and the final take this or that, I mean, is do you sleep naked or PJs?
Naked.
Always.
Yeah. Well, not always, unless it's really cold, but mostly, yeah.
Okay.
Perfect. Wow, we love talking to you both. You're amazing.
Yes, it was a
You're
lot of
so
fun.
You're amazing. We had a
Thank
great
you.
time.
Yeah, we had a great time. It was fun.
I should do more times.
Yes.
More Israel connection.
Yeah.
So let's show again the Bears of Israel website here. Bears Israel.
Bears of Israel.
Yeah. Bears
Get
of
this
Israel.
delivered to your house, no
Bears-
matter where you live.
BearsofIsrael.com. Again, 25 Canadian dollars. Go get your copy now.
And that
And I will
includes
I'll be personally boxing it and shipping it to your door.
Ooh.
Yeah, you can see me do it on our Instagram page. I just did one.
on our OnlyFans.
Yeah, I just,
Oh,
maybe that's what we should do next year.
This is what we should do next year.
Yeah.
If you want to raise money for next year's calendar, we should open OnlyFans. To all of you who hear it, whether you are familiar with the concept of bears or whether you just came across this video, we hope you enjoyed and you got to know a little bit about our community here in Israel, which we really, really, really love. And we are really looking forward to get together ourselves and with our people around the world.
Yeah, stay safe.
Stay healthy.
Stay healthy. Don't let COVID ruin your opportunity to celebrate your gorgeous bodies. And if we all keep safe, then hopefully pretty soon we will be able to celebrate together with each other's amazing bodies.
We want to see you in Berta weekend in 2021.
Yes.
This coming October.
That I was gonna say.
We'd
Behave
love to.
so can go to Israel, meet you both and the other guys
yeah.
in October. So there's something good to look forward to.
Come to Israel. Noam have an extra room in his apartment.
I have 2 extra rooms in mine.
He has 2 extra rooms.
There's the dungeon, and then there's the guest room.
I didn't want to talk about the dungeon in front of all Canada, but since
Why not? I got a dungeon and an extra room. Come over.
Okay, that'll be in the next video.
Yes.
Live from the dungeon.
So I'd like to thank so much the guys, and please support is important. It's not just sometimes buy a calendar, just to support the cause, support their project.
Yeah, it's a great project.
As a group, they also need support as a community. So
And it's a nonprofit group, so the money will go back into the community.
So it's an important thing to do, especially so crazy. These guys, they win pageants, they become misters. And then because of pandemic, they couldn't really do much as misters. So this is something they managed to do. So let's support them.
Yes, it's very important.
Speaking of support, you can follow us at website bearsaccess.com and go to, if you're watching this, I guess our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
You can also go to Instagram, Bears Access. There's Bears Access Backup, Bears Access Events. I know 3.
Oh my God.
We have our Twitter, Bears Access. We have our page on Facebook and a group on Facebook.
Yeah.
We have Twitter. See, we're all over the place.
Yes, we are.
And also, if you like the Fluffies, you can watch the Fluffies channel. That's another project.
Fluffy's channel YouTube underscore, sorry,
He got lost.
YouTube / the Fluffies channel.
He woke up early, that's why. So early Saturday, like,
Yeah.
So
But
thanks.
it was worth it.
Yes. If you are still here with us, so thanks so much for watching. Looking forward for this new season of Bears and Set Show. And
Stay fluffy.
We just wanted to show the diversity in Israel, Israeli bears, and show other, like the world, what Israeli bears are.
I think people should buy this calendar because it represents the bears in Israel, and it shows that we are here, we are on the map, even in Israel.
It's very important to be positive about yourself, and this is the energies that you give, and this is what the photo shoot is all about.